No experience, no problem. If I wanted an internship in 2025 as a complete beginner with no experience, I would exactly follow this video. Trust me, it's not as impossible as it seems. Here's the thing, I've been there, because you apply and apply and apply and you just get rejected. And God forbid LinkedIn, where you see people your age getting internships and there's you not even getting a single one. And it just feels demotivated and it makes you feel like you're not good enough. But you are though. I've applied to over 70 internships and I've faced rejection over and over and over again, but eventually landed an internship at Samsung Electronics HQ. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to secure an internship, even if you feel like your CV isn't good enough or you just don't have any work experience. Also, if you have not subscribed, don't worry, let me earn it by the end of this video. So let's go. Find your field of interest. Okay, so grab a pen because you're going to be making notes as you go through this video. First things first, you want to make a note on what part of business are you excited to work in. Is it marketing, finance, project management, HR? Just write it down. Don't even overthink it if you don't know what to do. Just write one down, whichever sparks the most curiosity in it. Pick one for now. You can always explore another options later. Next, you want to think of a business sector you really want to work in. For example, if you chose marketing, is it marketing within the banking industry? Or is it marketing within the finance industry? Or is it marketing within the sports industry? This goes same with finance. Do you want to do finance in a marketing agency? Do you want to do finance in a banking industry, etc.? So just pick an industry for now. These two steps are very crucial because later on I'll show you how to use these two things to help you craft your CV and cover letter and really make you stand out for this job compared to all the other applicants. But what happens if you're really not sure? Don't worry, you're not alone. This is completely normal and there's a way to tackle this. If you're at uni or sixth form or college, speak to a career advisor. Like, they're there to really help you and guide you to choose the perfect field for you, and they spoke to thousands of students, so they'll really be the best people to speak to. What happens if you don't really have a career advisor? Don't worry about it. We'll just use our best friend ChatGPT for this. Just ask her very detailed questions. For example, what kind of career aligns with someone who enjoys problem solving, creativity and communication? And start exploring from there. Just put that prompt into the GPT and see really is a career that you find the most interesting. So once you've nailed down the interest and the field that you want to work in, everything from CV, cover letter and interview will become much easier. So really take your time with this. Where to find internships? So now that you've got a good idea of what field and sector that you want to work in, it's time to find where you can even find these internships. So first things first, you want to create a LinkedIn account. Seriously, it's an absolute game changer. You should do it. Especially when it comes to business, you want to definitely create a LinkedIn account. It's an amazing place for opportunity and also networking. And while you're at it, add me as well on LinkedIn. Links in the description. So once you're on LinkedIn, head over to the search tab and type in internships and then use filters to really narrow it down, like location, field, and even specific industries. Spend time here really browsing what's available and make sure to save the roles that you are quite interested to work in. It doesn't have to be LinkedIn. You can also use other resources such as Rate My Placement. This one's really good for UK based students where they do internships, graduate roles, and also placement years. I believe it's for UK students only. You can also do Total Jobs and Glassdoor. This is perfect for finding a wide range of internships. And finally, your careers portal or university's portal. A lot of people kind of skip this part, but university has a great section for all the internships which are available. I know it did for me, so have a look at what's available there. Also, another great tip is that you want to check company's website directly. Some roles like Amazon internships, they don't really come on the big job boards on LinkedIn, or maybe it does come on LinkedIn, but from what I've seen, for example, Tesla, they don't put it on Glassdoor or Total Jobs. They'll do it right within the website itself. And this can be a bit annoying, but trust me, it's a good way to even go in the website and see what's available and what other internship opportunities there are. Just go on their careers page or their job site and then see what's available. Also, don't be afraid to explore smaller companies as well. These might not show up on the big boards, but they often do have internships where you can gain hands-on experience and do lots more compared to big companies. By lots more, I mean more responsibility, which I know that can be really incredibly valuable for your CV. And you might find something that you really enjoy and you thought you would actually never enjoyed. For example, like I said, I did my 1-year placement internship at Samsung, and Samsung being the 5th biggest brand in the world, my work was probably 0.5% of the overall impact because it's such a massive company. but at smaller companies, your work can be a massive impact. Plus, you get to get more involved in other areas as well and take on more responsibility and meet other teams in different sectors. So now you should have a list of all the companies that you are interested to work in, and it should range from all sizes, from big companies to small companies. So now let's talk about networking and see how we can make you different from all the other applicants. Networking. I know it's such a boring term that you hear all the time, but it's a complete game changer when you've done the right way. So first, you want to use LinkedIn to find the people that are working in the division that you want to work in. For example, if you're working in marketing, you want to go and find the company that you've applied to or you are thinking of applying to. Then you want to go on the company's page and the job description and then search for people within marketing. Yeah, I know it feels a bit like stalking, but it's like strategic stalking. We'll just call it networking. So when you find the right professionals, you want to send them a connection request with a really nice, thoughtful note. Just something like, "Hi, name. I came across your profile while researching company name and I'd love to connect. I'm currently exploring specific field, example marketing, opportunities and would really appreciate learning about more about your experience, the skills that are valued at company and any advice you might have for someone starting out in this field." What you don't want to do is ask for a referral right away. Like, that's just kind of rude. Think of it like making a new friend. Like, you wouldn't want to ask a stranger for a massive favor immediately. Instead, what you want to focus on is building a genuine connection with that person and really understanding their role, what the company culture is like, what it's like to work there, and show your interest of working there. Another good strategy you can do, which I did, was to connect with the previous interns or ex-interns that already work in that company or worked in that company before. So these are the people who've been in your exact shoes right now, and they completely understand on what's it like to apply. So you want to connect with them and ask them questions like, what's your experience been like working for this company so far? Do you have any tips to really stand out from all the other applications? What advice would you give me at the interview stage? So for example, I had this interview with this FMCG company, and then I reached out to these two current interns that are already working there. And what they did is they shared me the tips on what's it like to work at that company so far, and even shared me how the work culture is like there and if it's even worth working and applying there. And I remember this one intern who really helped me craft an answer to really impress the interviewer. If you're able to find out the name of the interviewer that's going to be interviewing you and then tell that to the intern and ask them what you can include within your answers that can really help resonate with that interviewer. At the end of the day, you gotta remember, if you don't ask, you don't really get. Most people, like the interns that are already working there, are really happy to help you because they've been in your shoes exactly before. So just be polite, professional, and very curious. You'll actually be amazed on how much information that you can gather just by reaching out. The worst thing they'll do is probably not just reply, but they're very busy, so it makes sense. Using AI tools in CV. So now that we are in 2025, we need to work smarter and not harder. AI tools like ChatGPT can be an absolute game changer. What you want to do here is have a CV and a cover letter ready, which is really tailored towards the job description. For example, if you're interested in finance, you want to have a CV and a cover letter which is really tailored towards finance. If you want to do marketing, you want to have a CV and a cover letter which is really tailored towards marketing. If you can't be asked for this, like many people, including myself at the start, you're going to get rejected straight from the step 1 phase, which is CV screening. So companies use CV screening, also known as ATS. You've probably heard of that before. It stands for Application Tracking System. And what that does is it filters out all the unnecessary CVs which don't match the job description. So if your CV and cover letter don't use the key right words which are included within the job description, chances are that CV screening ATS system will reject your application. And this is why tailoring towards the job description is so important, because you're going to get rejected even before a human looks at your CV. So this is where ChatGPT comes in. So what you want to do here is open ChatGPT and then copy and paste the job description and help it identify the keywords and the skills required. For example, if you're applying for the consumer marketing internship program at PayPal, you want to use keywords like campaign planning, data-driven decision making, and digital marketing, which are all found within the job description. So now that you know the keywords, you want to incorporate the keywords into your CV. For example, developed a social media campaign for a college project, showcasing strong campaign planning and customer engagement skills. Analyze data trends using Excel to recommend actionable strategies, demonstrating data-driven decision making. So yeah, you want to find clever ways to include these words within your experience, especially when you don't really have proper work experience. Also, one thing to make sure is within your CV, have a little skills section at the end, and then just list relevant terms like campaign planning, customer insights, project management, etc. Basically, whatever keywords that you find in the job description, just put it there, but don't overdo it. Maybe have like 4 or 5 in there. But if you like work experience, especially formal work experience, you need to find ways to highlight transferable skills from your university projects, part-time jobs, or any personal projects that you started. For example, if you ever worked in a group before, you can highlight team collaboration and meeting deadlines. So yeah, you want to find clever ways to, again, do this. Like just have something you've done before or any personal projects you've done or whatever, and just find few keywords from there that you can pull out. If you're still struggling, try use ChatGPT to find the skills. For example, you can just use this prompt here. Hey ChatGPT, I'm having trouble identifying relevant skills to match this job description because I feel like I don't have the right work experience. Can you help me highlight the skills I've developed by organizing a school event, volunteering for a charity, planning a group meal using a project management tool, or presenting in class? I hope that helps, and you can find the keywords and the sentences you can include in your CV to really tailor towards a job description. Cover letter. So now let's talk about cover letter. A cover letter needs to be customized to every single company that you're applying towards. But don't worry, it doesn't mean you need to write a brand new cover letter every single time you're applying to a company. Here's how you can make this process more efficient. You want to structure the same, but leave fill-up blanks for the company name, the role you're applying for, and any specific words you want to include from the job description. This way you don't really need to start off from scratch every single time. You just need to tweak it slightly towards every application that you're sending towards. I hope that made sense. If not, just ask me in the comments. Keep your cover letter like 1 page max with 3 to 5 paragraphs. The goal here is to really grab the recruiter's attention really fast and show your enthusiasm towards the end, and also say why you are the perfect candidate for this role. So when it comes to the opening paragraph, you really want to start off strong. So mention your enthusiasm for the role and the company. For example, I'm excited to apply for PayPal's consumer marketing internship program because of its focus on customer insights and campaign planning, 2 areas I've developed through my university projects. In the middle paragraph, you want to give specific examples that matches the role's requirement. Use the keywords you identified in the job description to frame your experiences. For example, during my business marketing module, I conducted data-driven research to analyze customer behaviors, leading to actionable insights for a mock campaign. This experience helped me develop key skills like data analysis and project management, which align perfectly with the role. If you don't have direct experience, reference transferable skills from school, group projects, etc. For example, organizing a charity bake sale taught me valuable project management and teamwork skills, including meeting deadlines and managing budgets. And finally, within the closing paragraph, you want to end very confidently here. Reiterate your excitement and your skills to perfectly align with the company's goals and vision. For example, I'm eager to bring my skills in campaign planning and customer insights to PayPal's innovative marketing team. Thank you for considering my application, and I'd love the opportunity to contribute to your success. How to ace interviews. When it comes to interviews, it's all about preparation, like with anything. Here, I strongly recommend a Notion page to have all the questions ready and the answers with it, because you need to have 2 sets of questions: general questions and competency-based questions. General questions could be like, tell me about yourself, why should we hire you, what do you know about this role and our company. You can find these sort of general questions all over Google, but if you guys want, I'm happy to make a more in-depth video on how to really ace these questions. Let me know in the comments. Now with the competency-based questions, these are the trickier ones and need a bit more preparation, and they usually start with tell me a time where whatever. For example, tell me about a time where you received feedback and improved. What's your biggest achievement and why? And to answer these questions, you need to imply STAR techniques. I'm sure you've heard that before. It stands for situation, task, action, result. Situations is all about what's the context behind it. Task is what are you trying to achieve. Action is what steps did you take. And result is what was the outcome. So here's an example of my answer when I get asked, tell me a time where you learned a new skill. So one new skill I recently learned was how to touch type. I'd always struggled with typing, and I realized it was holding me back in my studies and work. So during the holidays, I decided to invest in a touch typing course to improve my skills. The course was really good, and it covered everything from posture, hand placement to speed and accuracy. I practiced daily, starting with basic exercises and gradually advancing to more challenging material. It was tough at times, but I stayed consistent. Over time, my typing speed improved from 20 words per minute to 110 words per minute, placing me among the top 1% of typists. This experience didn't just improve my typing, but it also taught me the value of consistency. dedication, and self-growth, all which aligns with your company core value of continual learning and improvement. What do you guys think? I use the STAR technique here perfectly, and I remember every time I told this to an interviewer, they loved the answer. Just gotta kind of keep practicing these interview questions and answers. Then it just becomes second nature, and you'll be ready at whatever sort of competency questions they throw at you. Also, don't just say it with confidence. Use your hands when you're talking. Always keep a smile in your face and just show confidence and good posture, etc. Lessons from what I've learned. So within this journey, it's really important to have words of affirmation when you're being rejected. If you are going to succeed at this, you're going to go through a lot of rejections, and that's just completely normal. But the problem is it's going to feel very discouraging and makes you want to quit. And this is where words of affirmation come in. If I get rejected from applications, I just keep telling myself the same thing over and over again, which is rejection is redirection, and I'm being redirected to the company which is destined for me. Because I remember I almost cried when I got to this final stage for this company. It was like a small tech company, and they rejected me at the final stage, and I was so upset. But then that rejection redirected me to Samsung, which I could never be more happy about. Just trust the process. Like, you have to remember, I applied to over 70 internships and I got rejected left, right and center. Some of them didn't even send me a rejection email. They just didn't even send me an email back. But here's the thing, even my friends who landed internships at BMW, Stellantis, Disney, Amazon, etc., they got rejected by loads of companies, probably even more than mine. Like, rejection is not personal, so don't take it personally. It's just how the game works. And I want you to have a mental discipline to apply to 3 companies a day. I did 5, but you can start off with 3 if you like. No excuses. You have to apply to 3 companies a day, every day, till you get an internship. And if you see a big company that you think, you know what, I'm not even going to bother applying because I'm not going to get it, don't do that. Just apply. There's nothing wrong with applying. Apply to big, apply to small. This is exactly what I thought when I applied to Samsung. I was like, I'm not even going to get it. I'm just going to apply as a joke. I applied to Samsung as a joke and I got it. And I'm not saying that to kind of rub it in. I'm saying that if I can do it, and I didn't even get the highest grades ever, you can definitely do it too. Use every rejection as a learning curve. If you get asked a question which you didn't even prepare for and you got rejected, note that question which they asked you down and prepare an answer for it. So next time, if any other company asks you, you will have no problem with it. This is why getting rejected by every single internship leads to having a set of questions, a long set of questions which you're prepared for. So no matter how big of the company it is, if they ask you any type of questions, you're ready for it. And finally, just remember, the people with the massive internships at the massive companies are the people who've been rejected the most. Just like me. I promise you, no one really gets lucky. They just faced massive setbacks and they stayed persistent and they just kept improving over and over again. And trust me, if I can do it, you can definitely do it. How to evaluate internships. So congratulations, you finally applied everything which I've told you in this video into your system and you finally got loads of internship offers. So how do you really pick the right one? Number 1 is learning opportunities. What are the learning opportunities here for you to learn? Your first internship is not about adding the experience into your CV. It's also about what experiences and what valuable lessons have you learned. Will you be given meaningful work, or will you just be making PowerPoints and taking notes in meetings? Does the company offer mentorship, training, or exposure to different parts of the business? Are there past interns you can connect with to ask about their experiences? Like I said, you should have kind of done this before if you followed the process, but you can also, say ask later as well when you get the internship and ask what their experience is like. Number 2, what's the company culture like? Internships are not just about brand name. You want to make sure you actually love working there. Are the employees happy? Do they seem overworked? Is there a good work-life balance? Does the company culture align with your personality? You can find this sort of information on Glassdoor, where ex-employees kind of tell you honestly how it's actually like working there, and you can just look at the reviews. Number 3, industry relevance. So if you're really serious about breaking into a specific industry, you need to kind of ask yourself, does this internship help me build skills relevant to my long-term career goals? Will this experience I gain here make me stand out for future roles? And finally, career progression. Is there a role after this? So one of the biggest mistakes I see people doing is they do internship with no long-term plan. They always look short-term and not long-term. You have to be careful because some companies use internship as a cheap labor and don't really offer roles after that. Other good companies hire interns who they can offer graduate roles after the university finishes. And it's such a nice feeling to have. As soon as you finish university, you have a good company there lined up to continue, where some of other classmates are gonna struggle maybe 6 months to about 8 months trying to find a full-time role after that. Like, I've got a few friends who are still struggling to look for a job after university. university because they didn't really think of a long-term goal or did internships who offer a graduate scheme straight after that. So you want to ask yourself, does this company have a track record of hiring interns full-time? Are you interested in working here after graduating? Are there networking opportunities to help you connect with future employers? Of course, if you get internship, only just one internship, then just take it. This is only for people who have loads of internship offers and don't really know which one to take. But if you're still thinking about whether to even do an internship or what more value you can gain from doing an internship or placement year, watch this video here and that tells you everything about why you should do a placement year/internship. Hope this video helps. Stay blessed. Take care.